All right. So once again, welcome to the Spokane Regional 2012 briefing. And here is a little overview of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a bit about the schedule for today, the general logistics about parking, buses, food, that sort of stuff. A bit about what we need from our veteran teams. We'll need a little help. We're going to talk about showing up on Wednesday night and loading your stuff in. And then we're going to talk about Saturday and loading out. And then I'm going to spend some time, especially for the rookie teams, you'll want to hear about what's going to happen on Thursday. I'm explicitly not going to talk terribly too much about the actual event days of Friday and Saturday. We'll be able to fill you in on a lot of those details when you arrive. So the aim of this presentation is to get you to have a safe landing and takeoff from Cheney. So, as a huge overview of the whole thing, this is the schedule for the entire event. Wednesday evening is robot and pit area deliveries, and we'll talk about that in length. Thursday is all about you guys showing up and uncrating your robot and passing inspection. That is that's the key to happiness. Because on Friday we're going to start playing qualification matches. On Saturday we continue the qualification matches in the morning, and the final rounds are in the afternoon. And I'm pointing this out, this schedule out, because you shouldn't plan on arriving any earlier than Wednesday evening, and you should plan on completely vacating and being gone Saturday evening. You won't be able to come back and pick stuff up on Sunday, nor will you be able to drop it off early on Tuesday. Okay, let's talk a bit about Wednesday. So the schedule for Wednesday, this is sort of like delivery day, if you will. Load in is going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're going to try to do our best to stick to that schedule. That means that the pits are going to close and the volunteers would like to go home right about 7:55. So we're really planning on closing the building at about 8 o'clock. For Wednesday, what we'd like you to bring are no more than 5 people. You should be bringing your robot in a bag and your bumpers in a bag. And you're welcome to bring with you any other pit area stuff that you have, whether it's tools, carts, supplies, your decorations. So that is sort of the overview for Wednesday about what you're going to do. And we're going to talk a little bit more about load in here in just a sec. And as an overview of Thursday, if you were unable to make load in on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, starting at about 7:45, we'll be accepting deliveries for late arrivals. And because we know some of you are driving across the mountains and such. So plan on being there at like 7:30 to 7:45 because we want to get you in and situated before we open the pits to the general population. The pits themselves for everybody are going to open at 8:30 a.m. and in fact pretty much everything starts at 8:30 a.m. Because we've got other things going on and we're not ready for you, don't expect to show up at 7:30 to get into the pits. We're pretty strict about the 8:30 a.m. part. You will be standing outside if you get there early, which is fine. Most teams do, but plan accordingly. Hey, Christian, what's the weather been like? Is it still pretty cold?
Oh, it's been pretty cold, but we're still 2-3 weeks away, so I'm expecting it to warm up quite a bit. This is usually a nice time of year.
Okay, great. And then Thursday, you can see all the stuff that's happening. There's just it's a very, very busy day for people who build robots, for people who work on robots. We are going to close the pits starting at 7:50, and we're going to actually be gracious and professional and very direct about having you leave by 8 o'clock. So plan on being out of the building by 8. Okay? All right. Let's talk. And I'm going to harp on this quite a bit and everybody always hears me harp about this every year. Thursday, your only goal on Thursday is to get your robot to pass inspection. And we're going to be all over you, making sure that, that you're making progress getting yourself through inspection. I know a lot of us have little things that we didn't finish on the robot that we need to get done, but we really want you to start the inspection process early, even if you're not 100% done. So you'll hear about that a lot. And also, especially for the rookie teams, if you're not done yet and you still need some help getting going, don't be bashful about asking for help. All of us veterans have been there before. We're there to help. It's a badge of honor to be helping another team. So be sure and ask for help if you can. And remember, especially for the rookie teams, your team number is permanent. That means teams with low numbers like 360 and 492, those teams have been around a while and in theory should have quite a bit of experience. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about where this event is. It's in Cheney. It's not in Spokane. So here's a map of Eastern Washington. Spokane is here, and Cheney it's about a 20-minute drive from downtown Spokane, isn't it, Christian?
Yeah, about 16 miles.
About 16 miles. Okay. So if you're coming from the wet side, you might want to check your map before you get there because there's a nice turnoff here to get to Cheney.
Actually, you don't want to take that exit. You want to take exit 257, which is Tyler, so that's down past your lower left corner.
Down here?
It's about a 10-mile drive along that Highway 904, but it's not bad, and it cuts really off quite a bit of distance compared to taking. If you miss that, you can take the Salnave Road exit, and you don't want to miss that because otherwise you're going all the way to Four Lakes and you're backtracking. So exit 257 if you're coming from the west side.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Okay, so exit 257 off of I-90 will take you to Cheney, the most direct route. All right. I just wrote that down for myself. Okay.
And 270 if you're coming from the east side. That's the Four Lakes. You can see that on the map.
On Four Lakes?
Yes.
Okay. And I've been down this road before, this long road out of Spokane, and this one's pretty slow. So, okay. So that's where we're going now. When you get on campus, I'm looking at my slides and I forgot to put the big campus map on here, but that's okay. We are going to be at Reese Court, and Reese Court is sort of the main athletic complex at Eastern Washington University. And from this aerial view here, just pointing out where things are, the large building on the upper right is the actual arena. This is where the game is going to be held, and so the field will be set up in there, and there's seating. The pit area is in the adjacent building, which is this field house here. And so this is where you will be setting up your pits. If you're a volunteer, the volunteer lounge is also in there. So this is sort of pit central for you guys. All right. If so, when you come in to arrive, just a sec. I think I've got the map up still. Reese Court. Nope, I don't have the map up anymore. Okay, well, anyway, so when you arrive and you're going to make your way, so I'm going to give you the next slide. So here's Reese Court, here's the football field, and parking for us is going to be up here in parking lot P12. P is in Paul 12, and so there's plenty of parking. To access this, there's this curved road over here on the right-hand side. You can just drive right up here, and there should be parking attendants out there to help you along, and it should actually be free. So thank you to Eastern for thanks to Eastern for not charging us. We appreciate that. And then there's pretty decent access right down here to the main arena. So I'm going to zip back to the other area. For loading in during load-in time, you'll be headed up this little drive here, So kind of watch for it. This is a walkway, so you're not going to drive there, but there's tennis courts here in a building and a little driveway, so you'll be able to drive up here. There'll be a couple of roll-up doors and people out here directing traffic. We may, depending on how full things get, you may end up getting stopped down here somewhere, and we might, have you queue up. There isn't a huge amount of room up here, but with only 47 teams, we think we'll be in pretty good shape. So you'll come out, you'll unload, and then just follow the directions of the parking people. So on Wednesday, this is where we're expecting you to come in, drop off. You're going to do two things with your robot. There we go. So load in is from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And then also Thursday morning, 7:45 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. We want you to wear safety glasses. There's a lot of people carrying a lot of stuff. If you've never been to one of these events before, people are carrying PVC pipes and aluminum and all sorts of things around. So we really appreciate it if you bring safety glasses with you. A total of 5 people from each team. And we just aren't set up to handle a whole bunch of people. Plus, you're not going to be here very long. Your expected stay during this load-in process is like 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the max. Okay. So when you show up, just follow the instructions from the volunteers out there. Please don't park in the loading area. So once you've unloaded your stuff, if we need to, we may ask you to go ahead and go park over in P12 to finish up. There just isn't a lot of parking area up there, so we'd really appreciate your help in not clogging that up by parking there for 20 minutes. Okay. We highly recommend bringing a cart. There's probably going to be cable protectors. We call them yellow jackets on the floor. So you want a couple of inches of ground clearance at least. There is stuff that you'll likely have to roll over. So I usually recommend at least 4-inch diameter wheels if you can. Okay. Now, the first stop with your load is we want you to take the robot and the bumpers through the inspection line, and it'll be set up in there. And so your robot and things that need to be inspected go in the inspection line. Everything else can go directly to your pit area. Now, what we're expecting you to do is to drop your stuff in your pit area, and we don't want you setting things up. We don't want you putting up your decorations. We don't want you unloading everything and plugging in battery chargers. That isn't what this is for. So what we really want you to do is drop your stuff inside your area, make sure it's safe, and then you're done. All right? As far as inspection, what we need you to do is we need you to bring your lockup form, the one that you signed when you bagged and tagged your robot, and your bumpers if they're in a separate bag. And what we're going to do is we're going to do all of the bag and tag compliance stuff during load-in so that bright and early on Thursday morning you can go ahead and unbag your robot and start working right away. So we appreciate your help in getting that done. So once again, 6 p.m. to, oops, and sorry, this slide is incorrect. It's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and I'll get that fixed. And Thursday morning, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. If you show up later than 8:30, that's fine, but you may have to do a little bit of walking to find somebody to help you get loaded in. Okay. So
just a comment about the unloading. We'll have ROTC people, probably at least 6 people helping with directing traffic. And that road that you were showing, we'll probably turn that into a one-way. So that means after the teams have unloaded, they'll be directed to go behind the beat building. Yeah, exactly there. There's like a little dirt road that takes you right up to the parking lot. So there's not going to be any room to park there. It's going to be just during the unloading process itself, and then you'll be directed over to the parking lot. Okay.
Tyler's asking, they just got done with the Salt Lake City Regional, and their bumpers are not in a bag. Should we throw them in a spare bag? Bring what you've got, and you can explain it to Darren G. and Brian and Dooney, who are our are our robot inspectors. Does that make sense, Tyler? Okay, so once again, as you can see, and we're asking you not to park there because there isn't a whole huge amount of room up here. If you have a large trailer, and some teams do, make sure whoever's driving sees this picture and feels like they can negotiate this. If you have a very oversized trailer or a large box truck or something like that, this gets pretty tight in here. So we don't want you getting up here and clogging up the works and spending a half hour trying to back the thing down. So make sure that your driver sees this picture and realizes what's there. If you've got something that's too big, you may need to pull into this slot over here, and we'll get your stuff over manually. Okay? That make sense? Any questions about that?
There's actually quite a bit of room. It's just not very big, it's not a paved road, but there should be plenty of room, especially if it's a truck pulling the trailer. I don't think it's going to be an issue getting around the corner.
Okay.
It's just you won't be able to back up your trailer. That's why we'll probably turn it one way.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about Loadout. Loadout is, and we don't have an East Hall here. Sorry about that. Saturday Loadout is pretty much the inverse of load in. You can pull in, load up your vehicle, and then, but again, we want you to leave. We don't want you parking out there. So you can staff your own loadout appropriately. You're welcome to load out during the elimination rounds on Saturday. It's usually from about 1 o'clock till about 3:30. We may close down the pits or the loadout area, or you may not be able to get any help with loadout during the final rounds, because honestly, the volunteers would actually like to go watch the final rounds and the award ceremonies. So we kind of expect everybody to clear the pits during award ceremonies and come watch. So plan accordingly. So I'm going to take a minute. Does anybody have any other questions about load-in or where to go? The one thing I will go back, and because I realize I skipped over the slide accidentally, I apologize, is buses. If you have a bus, we would like you to approach the area on Washington Street, and we're pretty sure you'll be able to unload right about here, down along this street. Your driver will have to do their professional thing and do what's appropriate for the time. But the cool thing is that the university has provided bus parking for us, and the bus parking is in P18. And P18, and I don't have it on this map, but if you just go down Washington about another 2 or 3 driveways, it's on the right-hand side. Look for P18, and there will be bus parking there. If you've brought a trailer and need to park your trailer, and I'm about to tell you something I don't know, and I'll let Christian object if he thinks I've gone too far. There'll probably be 6 or 8 teams or so that usually bring trailers. If you should be able to park the trailer in P12. Please head for the back to make sure that you're going to have room to negotiate. So take it all the way to the back corner of P18. And Christian, do you think they'd be able to leave it overnight if they lock it?
They have signs there that says no overnight parking. So I don't think it'll be a problem parking a trailer that you just brought to for your equipment, but you won't be able to camp there overnight, I think is the message. And we'll have parking attendants there, so if they want trailers to go in P18, they'll be instructing people as they pull into the lot. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Okay.
We'll have a place for them to park the trailers.
Cool. All right. So that's pretty exciting. Let's now talk about the other big logistic issue, which of course is feeding a bunch of teenagers. The concessions area will be open Thursday through Saturday. they're going to have, well, rather than box lunches, they're going to be sack lunches. And there'll be an order form that that we literally just got within the past 24 hours, business hours. So we'll get that up on our website as soon as possible. There is also about a block away the Public Union Building, which is the sort of the student center for student. It's kind of like the hub at the U or whatever. It's a central area where the students eat, and there's a food court there. And there's also a rec center, which is about another block and a half away, that also has a food court. So there are options for eating at the concessions, or there's food available very close by. The most asked question ever is, can we bring our own food? And it turns out that yes, you may bring your own food into this venue. However, for security reasons, they do not want you bringing in coolers into the building. So please don't plan on bringing in ice chests, coolers, that sort of thing. You'll need to leave those in the car. We prefer that you do not eat in the pit area. It gets the coefficient of friction of an upside down piece of pepperoni pizza on concrete is really low. There's the nerdy way of saying that it's not very safe to eat in the pits. So you can eat in the seats or the seating areas, or you can eat outside. We're hoping it's going to be lovely and nice outside. We do ask that you clean up after yourself. We don't have professional event stadium staff that are going to be as attentive as they are at the ones where we have to pay them a lot of money. So please clean up after yourself. Use the garbage cans. If you are going to bring your own food, think about bringing some large garbage bags with you so you can dispose of your own stuff. Okay? Any questions so far? We've gone through arriving, parking, bus parking, and food. All right? Outstanding. And we also talked about loadout. So I'm going to spend some time and talk about Thursday because it's a very important day for all of us. Thursday, the pits are going to open at 8:30 a.m. So you don't plan on coming, don't plan on being able to come in earlier than that. We will just turn you around and send you back out. You'll probably end up having to wait outside, and so bring a coat or whatever. Now, one thing about load-in is in order to get into the pits, you have to have safety glasses on your face. So that means that on Wednesday night, please remember to hold back your safety glasses. You'll want to bring them with you to the event on Thursday. We can't provide you safety glasses. You need to provide that for yourself. Okay. This is all on one level, so the last line doesn't matter. However, be careful carrying heavy loads if you guys are carrying a bunch of stuff. Especially for the new folks, there's a couple of things that we need you to do right away on Thursday. The biggest one is your lead mentor needs to visit the pit administration desk, and right at 8:30, as soon as you get there, you need to bring your team roster printed from the TIM system, and that should have all of the students and mentors who have signed up electronically, and then on that roster you'll need to handwrite any additional people that you've brought with you. The team roster printed from TIMS, if it's printed on there by the computer, we know that we have consent forms for all those people. You do not need to bring additional consent forms. Anybody who is handwritten in, we need to have signed consent forms for all of those folks. Okay? So I would definitely make a trial run at doing this at least several days ahead of time so that you know who is and who is not in TIMS. It's really disappointing, and it's really a pain in the butt if the students don't have consent forms, because we really do need to have those. All right? FIRST is a huge stickler on that one, and we have no leeway on it. It's their event, their rules. who to bring on Thursday. Definitely bring your drivers and your core robot builders and your mentors. There's always something to be tuned up. Teams always have to change something on Thursday. That's how it works. Now, depending on your team's logistics, you might consider just bringing part of your team on Thursday, the ones who are really involved with building the robots and stuff. It's kind of a boring day for the other students. Now, if your team logistics just sort of dictate that you need to bring everybody at once, that's fine. They're all welcome, and your whole team can show up, and many teams do that. But it's really not a very good spectator day. There's nothing going on the field that would hold anybody's interest for very long. It's rather slow on the field. They're running practice matches, but it's uncoordinated and uninviting to watch. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're planning on how to arrive on Thursday and into Friday. One request: bumpers suck this year. The inspectors have told us over and over that the biggest problem this year is bumpers. A lot of teams didn't follow the rules. Sometimes we just need help with this. So if you've got bumper fabric, if you have a whole bunch of 8-inch by 5-inch, 3/4-inch plywood, and you don't mind bringing a few of those along, somebody's going to need it. We really appreciate that. This is a week 6 event. That means that the spare parts containers are going to be nearly empty. So if you don't mind, we would really appreciate your taking an extra few minutes to put together a package of love for the teams around you. The spare parts is going to be out of motors. They will be out of jag wires. They're going to be out of just about everything. It's just the reality of having this late of an event. So anything that you could bring that you think you would be able to loan another team would be greatly appreciated, especially the stuff that you can't run down to the hardware store and buy. Motor controllers, special wiring things. If you didn't, and especially parts that you just didn't use, like if you didn't use the video camera, if you didn't use some of your servo motors, if you could throw it in a box, you could even leave it out in the car, but at some point you're going to be a huge hero for the team that has broken something that we don't have a part for. A lot of teams are also going to need help with programming. Especially Spokane's got a lot of rookie teams, and I've already heard from many of them that their robots are non-functional. So if you've got some veteran people that can help jump in with that, that would be great. Our ultimate goal is no robot left behind, and we have a very good track record of that, and we want to keep that track record going. Some things that we've learned over the past couple of years. The laptop batteries, the classmate batteries, are notoriously unreliable. Sometimes they last 40 minutes, sometimes they last 6 hours. You just never know. So we highly recommend making sure that your laptop is on the charger at all the times. Just if it's in the pits, it's on the charger. Same thing with your batteries. And we found that the battery chargers lied last year. A lot of them said that they gave a battery a full charge in less than an hour. That won't happen. These batteries don't charge that fast. So just in general, make sure that your battery farm is always charging. Okay. Let's now turn our attention to some of our favorite people. This is Paul Rausch. He is our machine shop lead. We have a brand new machine shop trailer he's bringing over. It's lovely. It's full of great equipment. And he's got a set of volunteers that will help you the best they can. The machine shop is going to open at 8:30 a.m. It'll be in the pit area. There'll be a welding station probably outside. These folks will be very gracious and do anything they can for you. There are limits to what they can do. The mill is not that big. It's a medium-sized mill. The lathe is small. So we're not going to be able to do anything too big for you, but we can do what we can to help out. You may not use these tools on your own. You have to be a certified machine shop volunteer. Be sure that you follow their instructions. We need you to be able to explain very carefully and in the dimensions, in good dimensions, with a drawing or something, what it is that you need the machine shop to do for you. I highly recommend if you're trying to replace something or attach something, bring it all with you so that the volunteer can look at it and see what it is that you're asking for. It just makes it easier for them, and quite honestly, these are experienced guys, and they may have a better suggestion for you. They will not loan you tools. Please don't bother asking. People kind of grumble sometimes. I just spent a half hour in line, and the guy won't even loan me his 7/16" wrench. They will not loan you tools, period. We just, it never works out. So if you need to borrow tools, talk to your fellow teams. All right. With that, we have some other key volunteers I want you to make sure that you guys can recognize. The most important things for you to understand are if there's a question about the game, the rules, interactions on the field, any of that stuff, that all goes to the referees. You cannot rely on any ruling from anybody who is not a referee. In fact, actually, you should only rely on the head referee. Their word is final. So you can come ask me about it, and I will smile and tell you that's a great question. You should go ask a referee. I can't make rulings. Michael Campbell can't make rulings. Christian can't make rulings. We always are going to defer you to the referees. Okay. If you have technical questions about what you can or can't put on your robot, you can try asking the team next to you, but if it's a fringe thing or if it's something that you're concerned about, you need to ask an inspector. They are the only ones that can tell you for sure yes or no. Okay? If you feel the need to whine and complain, and some people need to do this, if you need to vent at somebody, you should come find me, Kevin Ross, or you can come find Christian Hansen, or you can come find Michael Campbell, and we will gladly let you vent at us. Please don't yell at the volunteers. The volunteers are doing their best. Most of them are new to this. So if it went right, the volunteers did an awesome job. If something has gone wrong, it's going to be Michael, Christian, or I it's our fault. So you can come tell us about it. All right. Some other key volunteers that you'll grow to know and love. Brogan Thompson on the left is our field supervisor. He is literally one of the best guys in the country at this. He's a wonderful man. Please do what he says. He's very polite. He's very caring. He's having a great time. He's a lot of fun. Ron Baker is also going to be there. Ron is another field supervisor who's done this before. This is his third or fourth year. I can't remember. These guys are great. You're really going to enjoy working with them. They're very experienced. We have a head referee is Andrew Yeckel, and I don't know if he's on the line. I'm going to look. Andrew isn't here. Andrew is a experienced referee. He's been in first for a long time. This is his first time as head referee, but he's been around long enough. He knows the drill. And Brian Induni is our lead robot inspector, and he'll be backed up by Darren G., who is our Washington First Robotics lead robot inspector. Between the two of them, they've got plenty of experience doing this and can help you with whatever you need. All right. I swear we're almost done. But I need to, and again, a lot of this is going to get aimed at the rookie teams. We have a number of them on the line here. So I want to talk to you about inspections because knowing how to get through this will make your life much easier. There are 4 steps to inspection. We need to weigh and size your robot at the inspection station. We have a scale. We have a large box that your robot must fit into. We also are going to do a control system inspection at the control system advisor station. It's right over by inspections. There's going to be a physical robot inspection there where 1 or 2 inspectors will go through your robot in great detail to make sure it's in compliance with all of the rules. And then the last thing that really needs to happen is we need to connect your robot to the field controller at least once. I want to make sure that everybody realizes that the inspectors are primarily mentors. They are great. They have a wealth of information and a wealth of ideas on how to help you. They're here to help you get out on the field. They're there to help you get through that checklist. You have to get through the checklist to be fair, but don't be afraid of these guys. If you're stuck, you don't know how to do something, for crying out loud, ask an inspector. They're really, really good at this. So don't feel like this is an adversarial relationship. It is completely the opposite. Okay? So the first thing you really want to do is you want to get yourself weighed and sized, and you can start that at 8:30 a.m. Go get in line. They're going to make sure that your robot, without bumper and batteries, weighs 120 pounds or less. It is a hard limit. They may, based on how temperamental the scale is that day, they may let you get away with 120.1 if they just have seen it fluctuate a little bit. But the reality is that 120 is the drop dead line. So if you're 121, they're not going to look the other way. You're going to have to go figure out how to remove a pound. This step you want to do early. Nothing is more time consuming than trying to remove weight from your robot. I guarantee you, out of the 47 teams at this event, there will be 10 or 15 of you will be overweight, and you'll need to do something about that. So get this started early. After that, you can stop by and get your firmware updated and checked. And then you can immediately sign up at the inspection desk for an in-pit inspection. It's, they'll start making a list, and they go, whoever signed up first gets it, right? So sign up early, even if you're not done. Let the robot inspectors come and have a look, okay? Especially for you rookies, it is really rare for a robot to pass inspection the first time. It takes a couple of visits, so be prepared for that. And again, get it started early, because if you have to fix something, it may take longer than you might imagine, okay? I still didn't take that line out. You need to bring a printed bill of materials. You don't need to worry about the USB key. Bring a printed bill of materials with you. The robot inspectors will want to see that as part of the inspection process. You do not need to bring an electronic copy this time. If you need the format for that is on the first website, so look in the competition manual. It's listed right there towards the bottom. Remember, you have to pass inspection in order to play on Friday and earn qualifying points. That's really key. So, belabored, I hope you got the point. The other thing you'll need to do is there's a station set up where you're going to take your wireless router and you're going to hook it up to a computer, and it's going to assign all of the WPA keys and stuff for you. So you'll need to do that right away, otherwise you won't be able to connect to the field. And there's a desk set up for that, and it's manned by somebody, and the inspectors can help there. The last thing that we need you to do is to connect to the field during the day. And this needs to happen on Thursday, and you'll find that they're going to start pestering you by mid-afternoon if you haven't gone out and done this at least once. If you go out to run a practice match on the official field over in Reese Court, the field computer is going to remember that you did that, and will know whether you've connected or not. If you're not able to make your scheduled practice round, at some point the inspectors are going to come find you and they're going to say, bring whatever you've got in whatever state it is, and as long as you can turn the control system on, we're going to take you over to the field to make sure that you can connect. You really want to do this. We're making it a mandatory step. Sometimes if you can't connect, it can take us 15 or 20 minutes to figure out why. There's a lot of little fiddly bits that need to get dealt with. You do not want to try and do this Friday morning at 9:30 when you're up first, right? We won't. You will end up missing around, and we don't have we don't really have a great way to stop the match and have you come out and let us debug it. So we really want you to do this on Thursday. So what does that mean? That means we may end up bringing whatever parts you have laying around, and we've done this before. We've taken carts out there with robots with incomplete chassis, and the radio's dangling from the end of a cord, and it just sits on the cart over on the side, but we're going to connect you anyway to make sure that it works, okay? We really would like you to try to do this by 2 p.m. Thursday, and the inspectors will come start pestering you about it. All right. The other thing that happens on Thursday are practice rounds. There's going to be a published practice round match. You should get 3 scheduled matches, and there'll be a time on it, and the time is kind of approximate, but we try and stick to that schedule. They're scheduled to run till 5 p.m. You do not have to have passed inspection to run your practice match. So if you think you're pretty close and you're just doing some cosmetic stuff and would like to go run your practice match, we invite you to do so. If you've already passed inspection and you would like to go out and get some experience driving, you're welcome to go out and put yourself in the standby queue. It's very common for robots not to get to run their practice match. You're welcome to, in a first come, first served basis, to go out and run a practice match, and we'll fit you in when we can. Be forewarned right up front. You may have been standing in line for 45 minutes and you're up next, and we may bump you if A, somebody who has never been on the field before comes out, or B, if somebody comes out for their scheduled practice round. So be gracious and professional on that. All right. And here's my last emphatic plea with you. If you haven't gotten your inspection started by 3 p.m. on Thursday, you've made a huge mistake. So please get yourself on the schedule as early as you can and get the whole thing started. It'll take a couple iterations, okay? If it's the inspectors are going to leave the building at 7:45 p.m. They're done. They've been working at it all day, okay? Inspections take like an hour, so don't expect to show up right at the last instant and be able to pass your inspection right at the end. It just does not work that way, okay? So do whatever you can to get as much of the inspections done as you can, all right? Any questions on that? That was a huge fire hose. I apologize. All right? Let's talk about the end of Thursday. The pits close at 7:45. You need to be out of the building by 8. The EMTs go home. The volunteers have been there all day. They've been there since 6 a.m., many of them. We really are serious about getting out of the building by 8. So it's one of my jobs at these events is to walk around and very graciously and professionally push you out of the building. And I do it with great love, but I will push you out of the building. So, and really, honestly, there are no exceptions. We don't care if you're just about done. We will kind of hold you by the hand and lead you out of the building. So, last thing, there's a team social. The team social is going to be at the rec center. It's across the street and about a block away. There's a cost. It's $5, and that includes food and entertainment. And Christian, can you jump in here? What was I know there was entertainment, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if food's included. We have to pay a fee to use the facilities. I was hoping Mike Westfall be on. I was just looking at the attendee list here. Let's see if we can put Mike Westfall on here. Hold on a second.
So okay. So it's possible that food isn't actually included. Sorry about that, guys. But there's some games set up.
Yeah, there'll be a mix of activities. We're finalizing that right as we speak, and it'll include activities such as paintball, basketball, volleyball. We're not sure if we're going to open the pool or not, but it's going to be around the rec center. We have a climbing wall. We're also hoping to have people there to open that up, and so we'll have some more information on that. Again, I'm checking to see here if Westfall is not on the list here. So we're going to prepare some information, and we'll put that on our website, as well as we'll get that to you, Kevin, so you can put that on your first website.
Okay. Oh, hey, it turns out Mike Westfall has logged in as you. So,
okay.
Hi. I just
my link.
I just unmuted him. Mike, are you there?
Yes. I've been sitting here screaming at my computer.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're going to have laser tag. We have a new laser tag system in place for our students. Our rec center is only a couple years old, and unfortunately the ice is going to be already up, but there's an ice rink in there, but that will not be available. So we're going to have laser tag, rock climbing wall, basketball. Folks can go swimming. There's a restaurant up there, where folks can get food. And so it's, we're still ironing out all the specific details, but those are going to be the major activities. Soccer, is going to be able to be played indoors as well. The $5 does not include food, though. It does not include food. So,
will there be food available there, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, per purchase. Yes.
Okay. Cool. And I was going to tell you that the details, and I'm just going to change this real quick. I'll just make this available
and
real
before
quick.
we leave that, Mike, did you figure out a way to collect the money, or are we still working on that?
We're still working on that.
Okay.
Okay, so at some point, there's I have to debug. I don't know why it isn't showing up at the moment. I apologize about this, but there is a Spokane on firstwa.org. There's a Spokane regional tab under FRC, and for some reason it isn't showing up on the public. I just noticed that. I usually log in before I look at this. But there's team information, and the slides and stuff will be up here, and we'll put more information as we get it developed about socials and food, and that will all be on this website. And we'll get that hammered out here in the next couple hours. All right. So pressing on then. I guess I don't have to press on too far because we're actually to the last slide. All right, so in just a sec here, we'll start taking questions, but the recording of this will be on our website. It'll be on YouTube actually, but a link will be on the website as soon as I'm done. If you have any questions, you can email me, or you can email Christian Hansen, who it's chanson@ewu.edu, Eastern Washington University.edu, and I think this is going to be a great event. This is the first time we've done it in Cheney, and I think it's going to be a fun and great event. So, with that, if you're watching on the video, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Spokane.